joining us on the media review segment of the program. Today we shall be taking a look at the criminal justice system and the role of the media in crime prevention and social awareness. Is the media really playing the role of the watchdog? My guest, Senator Iwuegbu, who is a Secretary Media Subcommittee of the Administration of Criminal Justice Monitoring Committee, will provide answer to this question and other questions that will be asked on the program. It's nice to have you on the program.
Thank you.
All right, now when we talk about crime prevention, crime management in the media, what exactly is the role of the media?
The media in its primary function is to inform, to educate, the public about policy issues or social political events or economic issues. In fact, generally about life. So when it comes to crime prevention, is by writing, exposing the dangers of crime to be a deterrence to others from doing it. For example, when it comes to the issue of corruption, media write it extensively. In fact, they are one of the biggest tools of naming and shaming.
Yes.
So this issue of naming and shaming is a preventive tool. When it comes to, remember the time it was famously argued that some administration in the past wanted to smuggle third term to constitutional. In fact, media made sure that they covered the event live at the National Assembly. It was this decision of the media that made the decision makers to have a second thought because the public are watching. So media play a vital role in this aspect.
Okay, I just want to take you back to the recent documentary by the BBC, Sex and Grades. Now, some school of thought believe that, oh, that should have been a hidden one. Why would you expose some lecturers like that? Of course, these things happen. People commit crimes every day. Now that we are here, some persons are even planning already on how to carry out a crime. Do you think some of these exposures are infringements?
No, they are not infringement because it's for the public good.
Okay.
When things are exposed for the greater good of the public, especially when it is of public interest, you can't say it's a crime
infringement.
Or an infringement. One thing about evil is that the more you allow, the bigger it becomes.
Of course.
So if you don't take measure to stop it, you may not completely wipe it out, but you limit and degrade it, very well. So the exposure has helped. Even before this BBC documentary, there have been other exposure. Remember the case of OAU lecturer. It was a student on her own that took, that recorded their conversation, and the chat they had, and they exposed it. The media reported it. Just that BBC went a step further, to get other facts and documentaries to support what has been going on.
Okay. Now, the media reports crime.
Yes.
Every journalist would do that.
Yes.
When you see a crime, you report it. There's no problem with that. But you said something about not just reporting it, but actions being taken. But what happens when actions are not taken and then perpetrators still walk the streets?
That's where it's become discouraging, where impunity reigns when actions are not taken. But it's also behoves on the media to begin to expose the fact that actions are not taken. If people are supposed to do and they didn't do, media should be able to ensure that those people who did not do will be held responsible. So that's the area the media also need to dwell on too, because yes, the media exposes some of these ills, but the actors are not, it's not as if they are not doing it, but this area they also need to amplify.
Okay, let me ask you, as a player in the media industry, do you think crimes are underreported or overreported? That's a tough one.
It's a tough one because I would say it's not underreported.
Okay.
It's not also overreported. Nigerian media is one of the most vibrant. Sometimes some aspect of it are sensationalized. Some aspects also are underreported, but on a general scale, they are trying, because when you open the pages of newspaper, watch news, you hear crime, issues of crime, criminalities here and there. Sometimes government, when they are being held responsible, they feel that media is overbearing.
Okay.
Sometimes members of the public, when the government or the authorities are not being held responsible, they feel that the media is being bought over. They're not doing so. We have to balance, the media have to balance this aspect. But generally, the Nigerian media has been on top of there when it comes to reporting these issues, because they've been exposing it.
But don't you think not keeping quiet, speaking out, would really help the media?
Media is not keeping quiet.
No, the media might not really keep quiet, but what about Nigerians?
I don't think Nigerians...
Because some would rather resort to jungle justice, to get justice immediately.
No, Nigerians
than going to the police station and then you call the media to come and see what so and so have done.
Media is not keeping, Nigerians are not keeping quiet. If you find that Nigerians are some of the most expressive people on earth. They say if you travel outside the country, if you see black people, it's easy to recognize who is a Nigerian, because Nigeria is expressive. But the problem here is issue of when, like you mentioned, this issue of impunity. When people see that they are complained, no action will be taken. So they begin to withdraw or take action. That's where you see jungle justice begin to take prevalence, which is not something that's supposed to be, which is not an idea, which is not an excuse. But Nigerians be speaking, and if they see that there is avenue, that their voices are being listened to, in fact, you get tired, because Nigerians will come out in droves and start talking. Okay.
Now, quickly before you go, the Administration of Criminal Justice Monitoring Committee, how has this committee been able to help journalists monitor crime perpetrators to the courts till judgment is given?
Yes, Administration of Criminal Justice Monitoring Committee, actually the role is to ensure that the ACJA, that's Administration of Criminal Justice Act, that was passed in 2015, is being implemented to monitor that all the agencies, relevant agencies, do their work. Now, the committee realized that they've been doing a lot, but some of their works are not being known, publicized, known in the public. Just like you're a very good boxer, boxing in the dark, nobody will see your action. So that's why the subcommittee, the media subcommittee, was created to carry out some of this, to ensure that the media is carried along. But one thing about the media is also there's challenges of selecting what and what to report, because some of the challenge we are facing in this SCJMC is the issue of media attendance, because sometimes you have activity, you invite the media, not all of them will attend. They begin to try to prioritize. Maybe there's a court case.
Understand the nature of the job, actually.
Yes, but they've not understood that the SCJMC role is actually is the core of what we even bring good result to whatever they are covering in court. Because some media have not even taken time to actually track, to know whether this Administration of Criminal Justice Act that was passed, whether the court, whether the prison, whether that's the correctional service now, whether the police and other agencies, NDLA, are complying with it. This is a great role that the journalists should play. But this is what the committee, and I'm using this opportunity to appeal to the media houses, that whenever next we call them, they should release their reporters, assign them to cover the activities, because they do a lot. They go to prison, they go to police.
That's an advert.
Okay, apart from advert, what I'm saying is that the media have not, and the media should also focus on this area and the activities of SAGEMS.
Senator Iruegbu, thank you so much for your time. Although you are not a senator of the Federal Republic.
That's my name.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you very much. Don't forget, fighting crime is everybody's business. Let's help the government to uncover criminal elements.